we are back again with another episode of The Session, here to recap and rescore, what was it, World of Dance, Season 2, Episode 10?
Episode 10.
We made it.
Yeah.
To what?
Double digits, I don't know.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Who knows?
It's a good thing. We're going right along. They're making their cuts.
Yeah.
We're getting halfway.
We're getting through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of performers, though.
I'm your host, Russ Santos, a.k.a. Lock and Robin, and as always, we have fellow Justin Cortez and Eser Valencia back again, and I think they'll be with us for a while.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ain't going nowhere.
I like your shirts.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, thanks.
Zamunda.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just jump into it. We got a bunch
It's a lot.
of performances
It's a lot.
to get through. But before we do that, how you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Esther, how you doing?
Doing fine. Ready for my move.
Oh, you're moving,
Yeah,
huh?
I am moving.
Cool. You need help?
Yeah.
Right.
Can you guys come and help me?
So I was.
Moving on. In terms
moving
of
on.
moving,
Nice. I got it. All right. Well, the first duel. We are in the duel, second round of the duels, and the first duel is the Lab versus Lil Killaz Crew. We didn't get to see Lil Killaz Crew
yeah.
because they got montage, I think, in that
It's
last
very cool.
episode.
Yes, they did.
But we did see the Lab. I think they were in the first episode, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was
and
very
they're returning
early.
from last season,
Yeah.
too.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they made it this far. I don't think they made it as far. I don't think they got past the duels. Though.
I don't recall.
I don't know. We didn't watch it. But let's go around and let's talk about how we felt about, let's say, the Lab first, Eser, and then follow it with Lil Killaz.
I enjoyed their energy, and they had great moments in their set. Definitely definitely a junior group to look out for. You know, they could be. I feel like they could swing either way, good or bad, but they're definitely someone to look out for, and very, very competitive as well. I like the use of the stage that they were while they were doing their set, and the simplicities of their choreography was also good. Had good and bad things about it. You know, sometimes it could have been too simple, and then sometimes it's good to keep it simple. You know,
Yeah. Gotta have a balance.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about Lil Killaz?
Lil Killaz, yeah. I don't know. Like when I was watching them, it didn't feel like they were a b-boy crew. Like as I was trying to engage it, like they could do the techniques and movements as well, but for some reason, like there's just no backing behind their movement. For some reason, that's what I felt.
Sorry, he was staring off into
Okay.
space there for a second.
But yeah, like that when they had to replay back to the kid that was jumping off his wrist.
Yeah,
Well,
That was insane.
it's cool. Yeah.
What the heck?
What the heck?
It's the
Indeed.
heck.
It's like, every time I see something that looks painful, my body hurts. I don't know why.
We've reached that stage. Justin, why don't you take it from
All
here?
right. So, like, for the Lab, I thought they were super clean. They had really great formations, and they played with the movement in those formations were really pleasant to see, pleasant to watch.
Sure.
Lots of energy, and I do agree with you about like the simplicity. I think that they did the simple things that they did. It was like good choices.
Yes.
Great formations as well. Like they did use the full length of the stage or like the roundness of the stage. They tried to still stay forward most of the time, but I thought it was a pretty solid performance.
Right.
And the judges love them. So that's one thing. That's one thing that's really going to get you into this competition, like, is how much the judges really like you.
Absolutely.
Lil Killaz Crew, great to see like a b-boy crew like on the show, even though they said their shirt said breakdance.
They're
crew.
Yeah.
not a b-boy crew. They're a
Breakdance crew.
Yeah,
and it actually really
where,
shows.
Where are they from again? They haven't really said much about them.
No, they didn't.
Let's just say Eastern Europe.
Eastern Europe, okay. Yeah, they were one of the montage performers, and I don't know, like as good as b-boys as they are, they look like they were having fun, but they also need to fill the dead space better.
Right.
A lot of it was just hyping whoever was doing the trick at the moment, like flavor of the week kind of thing, and then they ended it like that. Like the guy, like he was doing the trick, and they were just in the back, like just bouncing. And I was like, that's a great moment to be doing something else, like something that is more than just hyping up someone doing a really cool trick.
Right,
I know you don't want to take away from
the trick,
the trick itself, but
if everyone else is going to stand there,
I mean, do something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I, the results showed. It was almost a 10-point difference.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in this case, I thought that the judges were right in putting the lab through.
Yeah. So I'll jump off of you there when it comes to like their tricks and how they don't really perform them well, or they don't execute them well. I mean, the tricks are executed well.
Yeah.
But as a team, the tricks aren't. The lab, they do it. It's opposite. Like they have tricks, but they do it as a team, and they execute it as a team, and it just flows within their set.
It's like it makes it purposeful.
Exactly. Yeah. Like let's put a trick here because there's a reason. You know. And I'll just talk about both at the same time. Lil Killaz, like the term breakdance crew really describes them well because they're not a b-boy crew. Mm-hmm. They know how to do b-boy moves, but they're not so much as like the crew like from the streets. They look like they're. I think I typed in my notes. I thought they were really cute compared to the lab, because like they're like doing like basic tumbles and stuff on stage, and it really shows. That's probably why I think they were montaged because their first set was probably just as similar to this set.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And they have to show the duels. Mm-hmm. They can choose not to show the qualifiers. Mm-hmm. One thing we didn't mention about the lab that I liked about them is that their levels. I think their levels are what really stood out to me. Mm-hmm. The sharp contrast from the highs and the lows, and vice versa. Actually, and not to contradict myself about how they execute tricks well. They do that, but I feel like at the same time they could use a few, a little bit less tricks, more like, dancing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's like a trick every 8 count almost kind of thing. But
I guess the choreography was more like just one long commando. That wasn't interesting.
It was just absolutely in flux.
That was a good way to put it. Yeah.
It was kind of like Royal Flux if they did like urban style choreography, just always constantly moving on to the next thing.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I put tumbling ? For Lil Killaz. But let's just jump to our scores. I gave the lab an 86. A little lower than what they actually scored, and Lil Killaz a 75.
Wow.
So like an 11-point difference there.
Jeez.
Justin?
I gave the lab an 88 and the Lil Killaz 81.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Eser?
I gave the lab 87 and Lil Killaz 85.
Wow.
Oh, wow. You scored them closer. Nice. The actual scores, the lab got a 95 and Lil Killaz got an 85.7.
Yeah. So you were definitely closer in
10-point difference, yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Just bringing everything down, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Naturally.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next performers. Alisa and Joseph versus... what's that for?
Nothing.
Okay. Versus
Elektrobot.
Eser, why don't you take the lead here?
Again,
let's just talk about... No, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
All right. Well, I thought it was interesting that another group chose a Neo song to try to appease the judges, especially a particular one.
No one's choosing J-Lo songs.
I think one team did.
Did they?
Yeah, I think there was one. There was one but then this is the second time throughout the entire series that they've done a Neo or like another group has done a Neo song. But anyways, it was engaging. They did draw me in, and I was trying to really not only pay attention, but I did get kind of like a little more technical on like how they were playing with the music. I felt like it was just a little long of a run rather than like they had some stops in there. I did question also, because I know the judges said this as well, but was it competitive enough of a set? Because like it still kind of felt very showy rather than like they're coming for blood kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say those kinds of things, but like it still lacked some sort of edge.
Say it. Yeah, say
Edge. Yeah.
Edge.
But I guess I could also praise them for like taunting their opponents with their set with like a little bit of a popping kind of setting.
It's a lot of taunting going on in duels.
There definitely was. Like
I think they talk about it beforehand. It's like, hey, I'm gonna do this. Don't be mad. That's kind of how I feel.
Right. But when they did have their moments in their set, they chose wisely, and I think it really was done well.
Okay. How about them Elektro bots?
The Elektro bots.
With a K and a Z.
For sure. Like their set was very reminiscent to our local friends. The Boogie Bots.
The Boogie Bots.
The Bougie Bots. So shout out to the Bougie Bots.
With their video games.
With the video games and all. And electronic sounds. Clean. Lots of isolations. Their set was very tight. Like physically. Like they really didn't really move anywhere else. And I think that's what costed them for me. Because I kind of wanted them to spread out a little more and use the stage. Because
fair.
That's a really good point.
I don't know. It just didn't wow me as much as Alisa and Joseph did.
Okay. Justin?
Everything he said, definitely. Alisa and Joseph, I love that they're linking their performances. That's a really cool thing that they're doing. I think that a few crews have done it. I know Jabwalky's done it. I know we've done it before too. Yeah. And it just like kind of paints this story, and I'm excited to see like if they kind of like keep it going. Very clean, very smooth. I mean, it's a gentleman's song again.
Yeah,
Neo. But my issue with it was I kind of felt like they followed the same pattern of music the whole time.
Yep.
Like they were hitting. Their movements obviously are like very sharp, very tight. But if you're following the same pattern, it'll get boring.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As much of a good storyteller as you are, you know, seasoned dancers are going to see that. They're going to be like, okay, I'm not really down with that anymore. You know, like, and they get compared to Keone and Mari a lot. And something that Keone and Mari always do is that they don't follow any patterns. They create the patterns themselves. So that's the only thing that I really had an issue with Lisa and Joseph's performance is that, you know, following that pattern just got really boring. Following the boring trend. Oh,
God. Here we go.
Electrobots, I thought their performance was just like, it was okay. And probably because I've seen the video game montage, like,
sure,
motif before. I thought, obviously, Boogie Bots, their hometown friends. I thought theirs was better, but you know that's neither here nor there. But their hits are great. I just thought their performance was boring. Yeah, it could have been so much better, and they have a great motif that they can play with. You know, there's so many video games that you can choose from. So literally anything. You know, it just seemed very generic.
I got you. I feel you. I totally agree on all accounts with you guys. There were a couple moments I did like from Electrobots. Their tutting, when they did like kind of like a strutting tutting,
right.
Little, what do you call it, combination. I actually wish they kept that going because we haven't seen that so far on the show, and that was probably one of the parts that was more interesting. And then when the dude jumped on the two guys and kind of just
they
fell
like
down.
They push up down.
Yeah, they push up down. They push down.
Push down.
So that was cool, but I completely agree. It was overall pretty boring.
Yeah.
It was about as good as their first, just that their first was more interesting.
I think
it seemed like more personality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Personality was definitely
like they flipped a guy.
Yeah, there was way more.
Yeah,
now that I think about it,
they did.
No, this was worse than the first. Lisa and Joseph, everything you guys said. Especially Eser, I completely agree with you. It was a little one note. I guess you said it too.
No, he did.
We all said it in different ways, I think. I thought you said it was kind of repetitive.
No, he said it was repetitive.
Oh, get out of here then. But yeah, I totally agree with you. It was just one note the whole entire time. I actually thought they did way better in their first set. It had a lot more character, a lot more personality seen, and the flow changed. Their rhythms were different there.
I mean, they did Stand By Me in their first one. Like,
first one.
That's a great song and not typical of like urban dance.
It definitely
so.
wasn't.
Yeah. One thing I really appreciated from them for this set was that they looked less like Keone and Mari this time.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I didn't like that they looked like them before. I like that they don't look like them now. But now if this is who they really are, I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah.
At least. They still did great. They're still great dancers. Dance better than I can. But maybe not when it comes to locking.
No.
Maybe
I would love to. I have to see them lock.
Yeah. Lock and Lil versus Alisa and Joseph.
Ooh.
The prize is Alisa.
Dang.
Stay tuned. Just kidding.
As for my scores, I gave Alisa and Joseph an 83 and Botz an 85. I edged Botz actually. I'm not sure why. It just happened that way for me. Justin, what about you?
I gave Alisa and Joseph an 86 and Botz an 83.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alisa and Joseph for me was a 87. And Botz was an 85.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, so we were all on the same page in that they were almost, the same pretty much.
Yeah.
I think the judges agreed too. Like they were just okay. Both of them didn't bring their A games.
Yeah.
It was real close.
All right.
Yeah.
0.7.
Judges gave him an 87.7 for Alisa and Joseph, and then Botz an 87.
Yeah.
So 0.7 more.
So
Man.
close.
If I had to choose one or the other, I guess I would choose Alisa and Joseph.
Same. I would too.
But
I just felt like they had the more competitive performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that they get better, to be honest.
Let's move it on to the next duel. Desi Hoppers versus Opus Dance Collective. Opus Dance Collective, another one that got montaged. And the growing trend here is that if you're montaged, you aren't going to win.
Oh, boy.
So, Justin, not to make you nervous, but them Raider boys, it's not looking good.
I know.
Oh, boy.
It's really upsetting, actually.
Eser, why don't you take it?
Desi Hoppers, they were something. I enjoyed them. They were definitely reminiscent of our time on stage. We always had our moments also. So adding just humor and personality, that does it for me. At least I know you're human.
Fair.
What?
No, sorry. I'm serious because like you see sets now, you don't look like you're human. Like you're just doing lines and like going full out and stuff.
I see what you're saying.
Personality.
Yeah.
Personality.
Gotcha.
Sorry,
I thought you were like aliens kind of.
No.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Moving on. I don't know. I wrote this comment down saying they do love lifting up their comrades. They were really just keeping them up, and then they were down, and then keep lifting them up. But I think that was what kept it very dynamic and like the diversity of their set going. So I enjoyed that very much. Again, love the fusion of hip hop and Bollywood, just incorporating their culture within the dancing. So that's always good. Opus Dance Collective, great storytelling. I did like the concepts that they presented within their set. That one trick that they did, the guy did with one of his partners, just spun her and her legs were just going like clockwork. It was just crazy.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and emotion was very present. So again, they were really connecting with the audience. So that was very good.
All right, Justin.
Desi Hoppers, man, I've been a fan of theirs since the first episode, and for me, like you said, they did a lot of stuff that we personally have done on stage.
Yeah,
the
scratching.
No one realizes that you can make a transition out of anything.
Yeah,
and it'll be funny to someone. So
yeah,
the scratching part we have actually done on stage, and it got a really great reaction, and it got a reaction out of us when we saw them do it. So, I also wrote that they have really strong backs. You touched on that.
Yeah.
Like they're just lifting each other up.
Crazy.
And I guess the only thing I would say is that they need to be a little bit sharper with their movements.
Yes.
Like there was a lot of messiness in their placement, like especially like, you know, these poses that they're hitting. Their levels were off and everything. So those are the things that I definitely would take away or want them to improve on.
Sure.
But man, I love what they do. It's like very them. It's their identity.
Yes.
You know, South Asian fusion type of dancing. Like it's great. And I love that it's something that's being brought to the forefront of like, you know, the show. Opus Dance Collective, I didn't get a chance to write any notes because I honestly didn't really like it very much.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little boring.
And again, they were montaged.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because, you know, like it seems like they are following the pattern. But I think one thing that I really had an issue with was that they're underutilizing specifically one of their dancers, literally just like lifting.
I know, right?
With the dude, right?
Yeah, the guy.
That one guy.
You know, like if you're like, I understand like there's power in being able to lift someone, but you should also like dancers should be able to blend, and I feel like they're only using him to lift.
Yeah, I guess we haven't really seen him do anything technical.
Yeah, I should go back and watch their performance, how
Just
like their qualifier, just to see if it was like that the first time, and if, you know, I hope it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, I couldn't write anything down because I just was not that entertained by it.
Yeah.
So
That's understandable.
I completely agree. The only note I gave him I gave him two notes. One was, it was just good.
yeah,
That's about it.
mm-hmm.
And that some of the lifts looked a little weak. Not the ones that he was doing because he's super strong.
yeah. No, his were great.
Yeah, but like when, you know, everyone else was doing something and maybe the other dude was doing another lift for another girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It just looked weak compared to it and kind of looked shaky. But also when the Desi Hoppers, some of their lifts looked weak.
really?
Yeah,
Oh
like
yeah.
When,
They were kinda
you know,
shaky.
whenever they get them on their backs,
okay.
they looked like, or at least their balance was off,
Mhm.
and you could really tell. In the beginning, one of the dudes in the back started early. I guess their opening move was like something like this, but then he brought it back in and then did it again.
Oh,
he was
right.
like,
He started a little early.
yeah,
Oh.
saw that. I was like, minus 8 points.
Eser actually didn't notice.
Oh, yeah.
There was another guy in Opus.
Sorry,
Dance
yeah,
Collective.
I will admit because I totally didn't see the other guy
It
in
was
there.
like, there's another guy.
Sorry about that.
With Desi Hoppers, I think overall they had just a rough start.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they moved on, as their set progressed, they got better.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
So the start, I don't know. I was a little let down when they started, just because, you know, from their first performance, it was, you know, everything was like on point.
Mm-hmm.
And then come this, you know, they start messy, and then their balance is off for a lot of things. Their like you said, their placements are off too. I was like, I don't know if they're gonna win somehow. But you know,
I do.
yeah. But you know, at least they did get better, and they had a lot of good moments towards the end. So I'm glad they turned that around. I gave them an 85, and I gave Opus Dance Collective an 84. I thought they were both just about the same. And
Wow.
I edged it to Desi Hoppers.
Interesting.
Justin?
I gave Desi Hoppers an 89
Mm-hmm.
and Opus Dance Collective an 82.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
For me, Desi Hoppers was a 91, and
Wow.
Opus was 88.
Wow.
Okay, you had them
Yeah.
close too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow, you scored them pretty high.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think you were just happy because of the butt scratch part.
That took me over, actually. That was a little biased.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but
that's
that was
fine.
just hilarious.
That's why I mean, it's representation if you think about it.
Judges gave Desi Hoppers a 90.3 and Opus Dance Collective an 83.3. So a good 7-point difference there.
Yes, there was.
Yep. Well, that's what I had.
Let's move it on to Sean and Kaycee. Hashtag Kaycee
Kaycee.
versus 3 Extreme. When really it should just be when really it should just be Extreme instead of a
3
E.
Extreme.
It's a 3. The 3 is just backwards.
Oh, I get it.
But there's 3 of them.
3 extreme.
I guess they don't do auditions.
3 stream.
3 stream.
3 extreme.
Okay.
No? All right.
Anyways,
Eser, why don't you take it?
Sean and Kaycee. So they were really good, man. I enjoyed them so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like just their intent and like the musicality matching it was just so on point. Like they just knew how to move with each other, and like they were just like, oh, like they knew what to do next without really like panicking or like just like have these little mishaps or something. But they were just there for each other. That's all I could say. Especially like they were taking their time so we could actually read the music as well, you know, while watching their performance. Kaycee's flexibility was crazy.
Yep.
Like I kind of wish I had that kind of flexibility or
I
started with
would
that.
pay to see you do something like
Nope,
her.
never happening.
You just start stretching every day. I bet you will.
Yeah, and I might break something.
You won't. Just stretch.
Anyways, yeah, that's what I had to say about them because yeah, they were just really that good. Thrickstream. I don't know because their first set and this set was really similar, and nothing
Weren't
really.
they montaged?
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually were.
Yeah.
They actually were. I did watch them on
okay,
YouTube.
You watched it.
I did watch them. So looking at that and comparing it with this one, I was like, eh. So it wasn't too impressive or a big step up from their first one. Definitely messy parts that they could have cleaned up on. I think it was just the energy and adrenaline that was pushing them that made them perform the way they did. So nothing too much from them for me.
Mm-hmm.
Justin?
Sean and Kaycee, like I love the violin entrance. I also really loved her flexibility, but like touching on that, Sean is the choreographer.
Yeah.
And he does a really good job of utilizing both of their strengths.
Oh yeah.
In the performance, which is as a choreographer you need to do. Like it can't just be about your abilities like on stage, like on both of you. Like Kaycee is an amazing dancer.
Yes, she is.
Probably way better than Sean is because she could probably do more. She can do what he can do, and she can also do what she can do.
Yep.
So, like, Sean realizes that and uses that to their advantage. So, you know, props to them for that. Like, their performance was on the music, was visually appealing. I thought it was really, really good. You know, like, definitely something that's very popular in today's, you know, dance world and everything.
Yep.
But, you know, that's what's winning right now.
Especially on the West.
Yeah, definitely on the West. 3 extreme, crazy amounts of raw energy. Definitely East Coast team.
Yeah, definitely.
Got to give it to them for that. I thought there was a lot. Putting those two next to each other, like there's definitely a gap in like the maturity of movement.
Yeah.
Like 3 extreme, it just seems like they're very young, and it is the junior division. But you know, this is a competition where the juniors could very well win the whole thing. You know, Eva Igo almost won the whole thing last year. So, you know, like I thought that they're just young and they need more experience.
Yeah, completely agree.
The turns are messy. Like the girl that did do her turns, like her pirouettes to coupe and everything. Like there were just a lot of things that I had issues with. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
I completely agree. Especially when it came to 3 extreme. 3 extreme. They're exactly what you said. I just summed it all up into one sentence for me, and I just said they were all over the place.
Yeah,
like formations, choreography, technique, just all over the place.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I could say about them. Sean and Kaycee, everything you said. I did want to touch on one thing that I really liked is that their facials are on point.
Yeah,
like you can tell how into it they are, and it changes. You know, obviously depending on what emotion they need to feel. I guess. 3 extreme went first, and they taunted Sean and Kaycee by having bandages covering their eyes and threw them away.
That was so funny.
But I liked how Sean and Kaycee came back, and I like their taunt better because they held their 3X and then stomped it down to the ground with musicality. Dude, it fit like perfectly in their set.
Yeah.
Man.
So again, an ode to his ability to choreograph.
Yeah.
Really good.
So brutal out there.
And then just another thing is that I like how they started their set the same way they ended their set the same way they started it. With their foreheads touching and their arms out. So
that
I was like,
really
it's
good.
a nice little bow.
Bookend,
Yeah.
almost.
I gave Sean and Kaycee a 92, and 3 Extreme a whopping 75.
Wow.
Wow, I think I got you. I gave Sean and Kaycee a 93.
Okay.
And I gave 3 Extreme a 73.
Oh crap!
20
20 points.
20-point difference.
Dang.
Yes, sir.
94 for Sean and Kaycee.
Okay.
And I guess I'm the generous one for a Extreme.
Extreme.
I gave him an 82.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
East Coast points. Giving them East Coast points.
Yeah.
East Coast.
In reality, Sean and Kaycee got a 93.3, and 3 Extreme got an 88, which I thought was super high for what they did.
Mm-hmm.
But Sean and Kaycee made it. All right, moving on. Here we go, baby.
Here we go.
Royal Flux versus Lock and Lull. Our
Lock and
favorites.
Lull.
The god,
Finally.
the Thunderdome.
Finally.
Woo!
Finally.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Nope. Locking, baby. Go ahead, Eser.
I'll go right into Royal Flux. I just gotta go with it. The one part where they were doing the lawn mowing and the vacuuming, I think that's what distracted me the entire time for the rest of the set. I was like, did he just really use her to clean the entire stage? Like
That's for action.
Turns on a dime.
I'm sorry, that was such a full distraction that I forgot to pay attention to everybody else dancing on stage, so I didn't see what was happening. Cool, but that was really big of a distraction. But for the parts I did pay attention to, it was a very dynamic performance. Great transitions. And the ending part where she slid on her butt and stood up, that's crazy.
That was really cool.
Yeah. I think that was a very unique trick to put into their set. And I guess she's still injured, right?
She says she's 85% better.
What does that mean?
That
I
means
don't know how you can quantify those things.
how can you quantify being better?
Or quantify pain. Like, if there's pain, it sucks. Like,
How do you feel from a 1 to 10? Well, 85% how I felt before. So if I felt like a 3, 85%.
Who knows? I mean, in the heat of the moment, all of us dancers, as we have been injured, I'm sure we can we make up fake statistics.
Sure. How'd you feel about Lock and Lull?
Moving on to Lock and Lull. Well, gonna be biased. These guys really leveled up on their game, and the performance was just exquisite. Great choice of song, because like it felt like an arena, and they were just like really fighting for their lives, because like I think they really wanted to prove J-Lo wrong, because I guess the comments that they got from her, especially, they really took it to heart, and it definitely was a good boost on their end. This set was just much more dynamic and very competitive. Still maintained their persona and funkiness, and it was just great pictures and precision on their part too when they were doing their locking, as well as like different choreography, especially incorporating the fan props. Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Yeah.
Justin?
Royal Flux, man, like these contemporary performances have been looking so similar.
Yeah.
And I take issue with that, because like you're in a competition, you already know that there are these other performers doing
something
similar to you. Like, you really got to do your best to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And this performance looked like their first performance.
Yeah.
Just with a less injured girl. 85% better than she was last time.
Yep.
But like, I always like give props where props are due. Like, they are fantastic dancers, and to be able to dance while you're injured, like, it's not recommended, but it's a competition. Like, the show must go on, and she wants to be a part of it, and, you know, I give her props for that. But I just, after they performed, I was actually pretty sure that they weren't going to win the battle.
Yeah.
It looked like they messed up on, like, they were shaky on a lot of their lifts, especially towards the middle. And they highlight that girl, you know, a lot. And I like a crew that, or a dance group that utilizes all their dancers, you know, like highlights everyone at some point, you know, and they highlight that girl a lot. She's probably the leader.
What happened to D'Angelo and
the
Untouchables?
Yeah. But, you know, I thought that their performance was just okay.
Yeah.
Lock and Low, man, dude. First off, I'm really surprised that not surprised, but it's interesting to me that the less funky performance is what impressed them. You know, for me, I liked their first performance just because it looked more fun. Like, this was just intense.
Yeah, it was.
It's mad intense. It's super clean. Like, a very interesting take on locking. Like, they didn't break their locking.
Yeah.
Like, maybe a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
With the fans.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you know, crazy amount of musicality, and they just have great personalities. You know, like, I thought their performance was, like, spot on.
Yeah.
You know? So I had a huge divide between the two performances.
Well, not as huge, but it's still a significant amount.
Yeah.
I completely agree with everything you guys said when it comes to Royal Flux. And Lock and Low, obviously. The only thing that I did appreciate from Royal Flux, that they kind of changed from their first one, is that they actually had a bit of choreography in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where they were in unison, and which wasn't bad. I didn't think it was their strong suit, obviously, but it wasn't bad. Actually, it was kind of refreshing to see that from them, or from a contemporary group in general. Still wasn't good enough because obviously, exactly everything you guys said. When it comes to Lock and Law and locking in general, I am a huge fan of taking that and taking locking and kind of putting some kind of different flair on it, or you know, incorporating it into something else that you really want to inspect but still works. You know, like what's that guitar thing I did? Black Magic Woman.
Yeah, Black Magic Woman.
If you guys have never seen it, watch it because it's amazing.
You're amazing.
No.
Yeah.
I was just in it.
But yeah, I'm just a big fan of that, and they did it really well here.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought the fans were cool, but I think they used them too long for me.
Okay.
I thought they could have. I think they tried doing choreography with it. Somewhere in the middle of that. It didn't really work out for me. But still good. And that's about it. Their techniques was still there. I was still surprised that they still maintained it throughout the whole thing. And I completely agree with you that they don't, for some reason, they like this because it's less funky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
I don't know.
I don't know. They don't get it. I don't think they understand like the feel of locking.
Props to J-Lo for just saying locking this time.
Yeah,
she got it right.
Yeah.
And for
Well
those,
done.
another PSA: this Lock and Law is locking. Popping that's not it.
Yep.
Popping is like Angel from episode 9.
Yeah.
So I gave Royal Flux an 83 and Lock and Law in 92.
Okay. I gave Royal Flux an 84 and Lock and Law an 94.
Okay, about the same.
Royal Flux an 88 and Lock and Lol a 93.
Okay, still good 5-point difference there. But in reality, the judges gave Royal Flux an 88.3 and Lock and Low an 89.3.
Yeah.
I thought there was a bigger gap.
Me
I
too.
thought there was a bigger gap.
I thought so too.
Let's say la vie.
C'est la vie.
Let's move on to the second to the last performance. marInspired versus Dragon House. Eser, take it away.
I'm sorry. I just wasn't a fan of Dragon House's set at all.
Oh, you're starting with that.
Yeah, it maybe it's something I'm not seeing that others may have seen. The judges did like them, but it didn't do enough for me. Like, it seemed like it was just a slight improvement rather than a major one from their first time performing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It just wasn't lacking dynamics, and it wasn't like dual battle level competition level for me. It didn't intensify as it progressed for me as well.
Yeah,
but don't get me wrong, they're very skillful at what they do. They're great dancers and they have great musicality. But I don't know. I think they were still holding back.
Yeah.
marInspired. These two guys just so strong with each other, like able to just throw each other around and like dance so well. The beauty and the chaos that they always present, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy the parts where they can still maintain individuality in their set, but also still maintain togetherness.
That's a really good point.
It was really good how they maintained that. And it was just also good that they started out with the relatability of them to the audience, to really have them participate somehow, like, oh, I can understand where these guys are coming from.
Sure.
So good job, marInspired.
Justin.
Yeah, no, marInspired, man, their movement is beautiful. And like the guy, you know, like he's not
Which guy?
the bigger guy.
Okay.
Bigger guy, okay.
You know, like everyone like expects like dancers to be like super fit.
Yeah.
And like I am not in the best shape of my life. I should be in better shape. But it's like I can relate to that because like, you know, we love to dance and everything, and he just has such great control with his body and everything. Like he's flipping and carrying, and the other guy's carrying him and everything. I thought that their message was beautiful. I thought their choreography was beautiful. It wasn't as good as their first performance, in my opinion. But they had like really, again, just really great partnering moments. I do agree with Derek. They did a yoga, partnering yoga pose that I was like, maybe not that move.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was,
Yeah.
you know, something else could go there. Man, but Dragon House, it just looked like they were marking the entire time.
Yeah.
Like this was their tech rehearsal. And for those of you that don't know, marking is just like practice run, almost like not full energy. That's pretty much it. I can't say anything just because I didn't enjoy their performance at all.
It's all right. Yeah.
And that's tough. I don't, you know.
Yeah. Going off of that, I think with the performance, I think it got cut because it felt like it felt short to me.
Yeah.
It felt really short. Completely agree with you guys. When you said it kind of feels like marking like the whole time. I think that's just attributed to their style of dance.
Maybe
because they're animation.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of energy in it. Well, I don't want to knock it. There is.
Yeah.
But not as much as say like I don't know, like Lock and Roll.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I think since they come from like the battle, the street styles in general, and you know from the battle scene, it kind of just felt like a long commando.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then again, I have seen a lot of teams or a lot of crews do commandos and show a little more chemistry than what they've shown. You can just see their individuality throughout the whole thing. It looked like they really weren't cohesive enough, and their chemistry really isn't there. And with marInspired, you know, they can maintain their individuality, but I guess like Eser said exactly, you know, maintain their togetherness, their partnership still there, and their chemistry. You can still see it. You know, they may be at different points. I think at one point, you know, the bigger dude was in the back and the other guy was in the front, still doing choreography, but still, you know, right in unison with each other. And they came from different points and doing different things. Their chemistry is on point.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that's one of their strong suits. Another thing is that they know how to tell a story with their dance.
Do they?
They do.
They're just storytellers at their core. But unfortunately for me, it just kind of felt like their first performance. And not that it's bad, Like what they did in the first performance and what they did in this performance was both good. I want to see more now.
Mhm.
You know?
Okay. It's understandable.
I sound like freaking like one of the judges on the team. I just need a little more. I need to elevate. But I don't know. I'm excited to see them again.
For sure.
Yeah, I just hope they kind of build upon it. That's what I'm asking.
Absolutely.
I gave marInspired an 88 and Dragon House an 83.
I gave marInspired an 89 and Dragon House a 72.
Wow.
Yeah. I was very tough on them.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I gave marInspired a 90 and Dragon House a 77.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I scored them too high then. Huh? In reality, marInspired got an 86.7 and Dragon House an 86.3.
Crazy.
Winning by 0.4.
That's the closest
That's
margin.
crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. It's like, what were they watching, man?
I know.
No.
Like I was really surprised with Derek's score.
Yeah, like Derek gave them a 90.
And that's why I'm thinking like a lot of it's like kind of like scripted or like predetermined,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe not even predetermined, but like
They do it to be competitive.
Yeah. I bet you Derek was
Just
surprised
for
by the scores.
drama.
Like I didn't give him a 9.
I know. It's like, what's wrong
It's
with
like-
my scoring?
Guys, this is broken.
Can I get IT?
Let's wrap it up with the last performance. Last duel. Sorry.
Yes.
Charity and
man.
Andres versus Vivian Ruiz.
Whee!
Eser, go ahead.
Ooh.
Oh man. Okay, I'll start with Vivian. Again, another performer. She has incredible flexibility, crazy strength, holding that leg lift,
Oof.
Yeah.
and then just curling it and then bringing back up. I don't know. That's insane. Great core strength. I don't know. She's still the story behind her set again. Still playing off the breakup. Don't know how much more you can play out of
She'll
it.
ride that
She's gonna ride
all the way home.
Yeah, she's gonna keep riding it. But okay, teen angst, why not? Go ahead. Take as much time as you need.
Sir.
But definitely a much better set than she did in her qualifying round.
Oh, hands down.
And I enjoyed it very much. So hats off to her. I don't have a hat right now, but
Because it's off.
it is off. Then moving to Charity and Andres. Man, what else can I say? They were everywhere, but also in it. Like they were just in that pocket.
They were everywhere, but they were nowhere.
They were nowhere.
What?
But it was just incredible. Like I don't know what to describe it as, but I think one of them said like the Matrix. But
J-Lo.
I don't like using one of her words, but I guess that was the best way to describe it. But
Yeah.
it was just incredible to watch, and just seeing how they interact with each other and just like pulling these different concepts and ideas on stage with their training is just incredible. And they're still like what, teenagers too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're very
my
young.
gosh, crazy.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, props to both of them. Like they're especially Andre's lifts, they look so effortless.
Dude, yeah.
So
Yeah.
effortless.
Mm-hmm. Nuts.
Go ahead, Justin.
So Vivian, I thought her performance in this one was 100 times better than her last one.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Top
I
tier,
get
man.
I get that like she's like, you know, like using like her emotions in her dancing, and that's great because as dancers that's the best way that we express ourselves. So you know, like, you know, when we go through heartbreaks, you know, we want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard for us to talk about it, so we put it kind of reflective in our art. You know, like we've all gone through like breakups and everything. We did Despair medley twice because of breakups.
Yeah.
So
recovery, man.
recovery
medley.
You know, like, and those are things that, you know, we use our artistry to help heal ourselves. And I think that she does a great job with that. And I thought that she did a great job with this choreography. Like she, like, man, she showed off her athleticism. It wasn't just leg extensions, but she showed her control.
She really
Yeah.
did.
She showed, like, she smiled.
Yeah.
She saluted a little bit. It's just like she showed that she can be a competitive dancer in this competition.
Absolutely.
And I thought that she, you know, if it wasn't against them,
Yeah.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
I want them to bring her back somehow. I even think that her like we talked about
You
this.
get
I
one steal.
That's the voice. You said this like if she had been up against Eva, she would have beat Eva too.
Yep.
But Charity and Andreas, like Jesus, man, like they just
Holy crap!
They just showed their athleticism, like the blind catch from the back was just amazing. Like you're taking someone's weight, you don't know. I mean, obviously within the music, you know when it's gonna come, but like you're accounting for someone's weight, full force on your back. Like that's incredible. Like and. They were doing things that were just blowing my mind.
It really
like
is.
The way that she there's this one thing. It's so small. He kind of kicks over her, and she does this like full 360 spin on the ground and falls, and it was just so visually amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Like they were so strong, and I'm surprised that they picked Vivian because she gave them a run for their money.
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure,
So,
for sure.
You know, for me, that was a really good matchup.
Yes, it was
awesome. For me, with Vivian, everything you guys said. I wish I could say more. There's nothing that you guys haven't touched that I wanted to say. Just that I was surprised that she was still writing that whole heartbroken thing going for long.
She's young.
Yeah, she's young. Better than her first. Yeah, you guys just nailed it. So moving on past that. Yeah, I do hope she comes back next season.
I know.
Moving on to Charity and Dress, one thing that I really want to bring to the forefront is that they performed a lot of risky moves.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, almost crashing into each other, stuff like that. Or, you know, even the blind catch, like you said. I think he did like a front flip and then split.
Oh, yeah.
Right on top of her.
If she didn't fall, she would have like hit him.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of risky moves that paid off, you know, times 10.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow they still made it look effortless.
Yeah.
You know, take that and everything you guys said, wrap it all up, and they still told a story.
Powerline. I'm sorry.
wrap it all up, and they still were able to tell a story within their set.
I know.
So that's like, you know, hitting all the check marks of whatever the score sheet is, which is why they got the perfect 100.
Whew.
Right?
That's only perfect.
For me, I give them a 98 though.
I can't give them everything.
I took off for performance and 1 point for performance and 1 point for creativity. I think I'm not sure. Yeah. This was in the moment. I can't really think about it.
Yeah.
And Vivian, I gave an 88.
Wow.
It was good, but you know, 2 points off of each thing just kept. Nothing was perfect for me with her.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, Justin,
I gave Vivian a 92 and Charity and Andres a 97.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I'm just like, wow.
Mm-hmm. For me, Vivian was a 90. And Charity and Andres, 99.
Ooh,
close.
Very nice. Where'd you take off?
I don't know. Something about their choreography.
Really?
Just something.
I gave them a 20.
I gave them a 20. I actually gave creativity to 20.
I gave creativity a 90. What did I do? Anyway, all right.
Maybe it was just the scary parts of them throwing just being thrown at each other and like,
Maybe.
Okay, you trust me?
So that's it for this episode, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming back.
Yeah.
If this is the only 100 in the season, I don't know why we're going to watch the rest.
I know. But
I'm going to be honest with you, though. Just to touch on Charity and Andres again, like, they're the only people that have said, like, we still have more to show, that I actually believe them.
Fair.
Like, they surprised. They were amazing when we first watched them, and they stepped up a whole new level on this performance too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
they're there.
They're
there.
Yeah. They have to keep.
They have to maintain it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow they're gonna do it.
Hopefully.
Justin, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Wonderfell88.
Okay. And I thought there was more.
I know. I was like,
no, that's because we had to do the thing.
Eser, where can people find you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at ValCirca, and you can find me on Facebook.
And
Huh?
He's single, ladies.
I'm not gonna say it.
And as always, I'm Russ, aka Lock and Robin. You can find me at Lock and Robin on most of the things that's out there. But thank you guys for watching. Come by next time when we review World of Dance Season 2, Episode 11, and third round of Duels.
Mm-hmm.
If you like everything that you heard and see, check out more dancefam.tv and follow us on Instagram and all that good stuff at dancefamtv #the session. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
Later.